Hi, this is Huraira. I hope you are having a wonderful day. So, to answer your question, why do I want this role in particular? So the simplest answer is because this is what I've been doing for the past 9 years. I've been working in admin and data management roles for the last 9 years, and this is what I have been doing. I am very disciplined, organized, and accurate in the work I do. I make sure that everything which I do is checked and thoroughly gone through the process, and the way I make things happen is always very accurate. So apart from that, one of the other reasons which is why I want to be in this role is because this role is like plus me working for an organization who is helping it is for a better cause. So it's always good to work at places which have a cause and which has motivation and direction to work through. Coming to your second question, what why do you want to be at Universal Giving? So my answer to that is both very professional and religious at the same time. Religiously I always thought that giving is a good deed, and that is why I prefer to work at places which have some community benefits or giving back to the people is there. Apart from that, you guys have like 100% model that every dollar which is donated goes directly to the organization or someone who is in need. So that is something which is very rare. I've worked with social welfare organizations before, but it's always something they always give 50% or 70%, but if it's an if NGOs like you are giving every dollar which is coming to the person who is in need, that is something which is far more better than, and it'll give me a peace of mind for my work ethic as well. It will help me work with greater motivation. Third one, what do you guys do? So you guys actually connect donors and volunteers to high-end organizations, and that is to around the globe. Plus, you guys make sure that every company you guys list are being vetted by proprietary quality models, and that is which what you guys just basically do. There are a few more things, but in the basics, you guys connect high-end organizations to volunteers and donors. Why is universal giving unique? I can think of three things right now. One is the 100% model, that everything which goes to the organization or the people in need, and that is like something that is a real, and that builds a real donor trust. And plus, you guys do rigorous vetting before listing any organization, so it's pure and fair and transparent. So the transparency part I also love about you guys, and I think it sets a very high standard. And you guys have like more than 25 cultures incorporated, so it's highly global, highly interactive. So it's a lot of opportunity to know a lot of cultures, work with them, grow with them, and make sure that those cultures are also being incorporated in the global effort to bring a change. Next is, why are you unique for this role? So I have a very simple answer for you. That is, I bring 9 years of experience on the table, and not only in social welfare organizations. I have worked with almost all the fields of life. I've worked with real estate agencies, social media marketing, with organizations, with political parties, and everyone. So that gives me a very diverse experience, very diverse experience set to work in different situations with different teams, in different pressure situations and all of that. So I just am very disciplined and organized and accurate. I make sure that everything I touch and I do is triple checked before I deliver anything, and that is what makes me very very unique value, which which I bring to the table. Plus, this is the exact thing which you guys want. I've been doing for the past almost a decade now. So I that is something which which is rare. Plus, I also support the cause you guys are doing, because I myself is a very big believer of giving back. So that is something which would give me motivation, which would help me excel in this role, and take an extra mile some days, take ownership, and make sure that the works get done, and stuff like that. So that is something which motivates me. So that is another factor. So yeah, last one. Time when I was upset at work. One of the reasons I applied to you guys is because of the cultural diversity. But the time when I was not very happy at work was, what I had to face racial discrimination at a company I was working with, and I was not very happy about it. Luckily, the higher ups, especially the CEO, was very vigilant about it. He had a zero tolerance policy. I raised up that to the higher ends, very professionally. I told them, this is what I have which I have faced, and this is which would have happened. So, you know, I I told them, we dug it out, trying to find the cause and motive behind it. Once that was figured that it was a racial discrimination situation. The person who was responsible was let go, and we made sure that that never happened in the company again. So yeah, I think that answers all of your questions. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to working with you. Bye.